Hello, I'm Reverend Jason C. Reynolds, the senior pastor of Emmanuel Baptist Church in San Jose, California. And what an honor it is to be the keynote for this year's NAMIWalks. I would like to first start with a few thank yous. First, to the national president of NAMI, Daniel Gillison Jr., also to NAMI Santa Clara Executive Director, Rovina Nimbalker, to countless staff and volunteers for NAMI and for NAMIWalks, and all those who valiantly battle and or support those who battle for mental wellness. As Shannon Altler, an inspirational author and life coach, once wrote, "Never give up on someone with mental illness. Because if we change the I in illness to we, you get wellness." And what an amazing way to think about life and how it could be that when we partner together, support one another, even the problems, some of the most difficult problems, can be transformed into wonderful opportunities. Now, my connection with NAMI starts about 3 or 4 years ago when we began our own process of understanding mental health. And to be very honest, I was amazingly ignorant. There are a number of places that I just did not understand, but I was so thankful to NAMI and its affiliates who sent out countless trainers, provided countless resources to help our church become a safe place where we can lose some of those stigmas that often follow those who deal with mental health issues. As we walked on this amazing journey, it was so much that I learned and still so much that I'm still learning. But I also found that we had so many of our members, our congregants, who felt now empowered. They didn't feel like they had to go through life alone or in silence because of so much challenge that they were experiencing. So I want to thank NAMI. And in that process, as not only our congregation came out, I started to hear from pastors. Around this same time, there were studies and information and statistics that were coming out showing that suicide rates amongst pastors were going up. And as much as the faith community deals with faith, when we started getting into the mental health space, we just didn't know what to say. How do we deal with leaders of faith communities taking their own lives? And so again, another partnership with NAMI was formed as we did a symposium for pastors to give them a space to speak candidly, but also learn about their own mental health, to find resourcing and to find support with others. Thus began my entrance, and I'm so glad that it continues. But also, as this connection continues, we also recognize that in this time, maybe more than any other, the pandemic has pushed on so many of our mental issues and our mental wellness. As we think about being sheltered in place or losing some of our normal coping mechanisms to deal with the stressors of life, this pandemic has exposed just how precarious it can be when we don't rightly deal with mental health. We have statistics about domestic violence on the rise. We have individuals now more stressed out than they ever have been. And the pandemic has brought up so many other issues for small businesses that may not open back up, for economic instability and job insecurities, for us now just worried that our neighbor may be a carrier. So we walk through life regularly thinking that the person right next to us could be the very weapon of our own demise. This is heavy. And this is difficult, but I'm so glad that we don't just have to stay there, and we can always come out with something hopeful. And in the midst of all of this, and we want to get to hope, we're going to talk about that momentarily, we also have other issues that are rising up. As many of you have been watching, racial tensions in our country are at least generational highs. There are challenges about how we speak and how we understand one another. And for the African American community, there is easily what is now termed as collective trauma. That every time we turn on the television and there is another unarmed African American slain, this is not just a one event, but this is connected to a history that is generations long, that we feel. So this is hard. This is challenging. This is difficult stuff. In fact, NAMI and NAMI's president took a stand to talk about racial inequality as a mental health issue, and I want to thank you for that. I want to thank you for taking that stance, because it is, as are so many other issues that we face. But as we prepare to walk, we are entering now into a day of national hope that is also connected with World Mental Health Day. And I can think of no greater thing that we need right now than hope. Now, I mentioned earlier that I'm a pastor, and so in my faith tradition, hope runs consistently through. We have stories of the children of Israel being caught between a rock and a hard place, and hope leads them through the Red Sea. We have stories of even some of the greatest faith leaders, such as Elijah, standing for God. And then we find him struggling, next chapter, wanting to take his own life, dealing with suicidal thoughts. Yet it was the hope that brought him through. And at the very center of our faith is that of Jesus Christ and his hope in providing what can happen even in the most dead of situations. So as we deal with pandemic, as we deal with racial tensions, as we deal with how all of this has changed our mental health in this moment, there's still hope. There's still hope in the organizations that provide resourcing. There's still hope in the support groups that come together to make sure that you are not in this alone. There is hope in knowing that this is but for a moment. And we're still looking forward to a time where things get better. I believe in hope. I hope that that's why you're walking. Each of you, however you will be participating in this NAMI walk, whether you're walking, running, whether you're doing a comedy show, whether you're showing up however you are, it is because of hope. Hope that this can be better. We're better together. We're better when we support one another. We're better when we use the resources that are available. And we're better when we financially support organizations that are doing great work. And I know NAMI is one of those organizations. So as now you're thinking about ways that you can give in this time for those that can, please think of NAMI. Think of the hundreds, thousands, and millions who are affected by their work. The largest grassroots mental health organization in our country, potentially even the world. I guarantee this is good ground, this is good soil to sow your seed. Thank you for your support for NAMIWalks, and thank you for every single time you provide hope to someone struggling with mental illness. Because we can take that I out, we can flip it with a we, and turn it to wellness. God bless you.